Namaste, welcome traveler. Have you ever held on to something long after a wiser version of you would have let go? A person, a memory, a version of yourself. A story you keep telling even though it keeps hurting? We cling because we're scared to fall. But sometimes, the thing we're clinging to is the very thing dragging us. There is an old Buddhist warning for moments like these. A warning whispered for centuries quietly, gently. Truthfully, let go or be dragged, and it's uncomfortably accurate. But to understand it, we need to travel back a few centuries, or into a story whispered in old monasteries. In ancient Sri Lanka, there lived a novice monk named Sona. Sona was sincere, disciplined, sharp-minded, and painfully attached to being right. One afternoon, the elder monk sent him to retrieve a rope left to dry by the river. But when Sona arrived, the rope had fallen into the water and tangled around a stone. He tugged, he pulled, his hands burned, his arms shook, but he wouldn't stop. Not because he needed the rope, but because he couldn't accept losing it. Finally, the elder walked up behind him and said, "Sona, you're not holding the rope anymore. The rope is holding you." And then came the teaching the world would remember. If you cannot let go, you will be dragged. This story wasn't about a rope, it was about attachment. The invisible grip that causes all visible pain. In Buddhist psychology, the concept behind this teaching is called upadana, not love, not devotion, but clinging. Upadana means grasping something so tightly that its loss becomes a personal injury. The hope that the past will return the story. You tell yourself about how things should be. And the moment hope becomes gripping, pain begins. This is the Buddhist truth. We don't suffer because things change. We suffer because we refuse to change with them. In today's world, attachment looks different. It doesn't always look like clinging. Sometimes it looks like waiting. Waiting for someone to become who they promised to be. Waiting for closure that will never arrive. Waiting for love to return in the shape you remember. Attachment can also look like anxiety. Refreshing messages, rereading conversations, replaying memories. And the modern mind says, maybe if I hold on just a little longer, this will feel right again. But Buddhist wisdom would say, you're being dragged by your own resistance to reality. The ancient solution to attachment isn't emotionless detachment. It's anicca, the understanding of impermanence. Everything changes, everything passes, everything moves. Attachment is trying to freeze a river. Impermanence is learning to float. Suffering is not caused by loss, but by refusing to accept that loss is part of life's rhythm. When you stop gripping, you stop bleeding. Here is what Eastern wisdom teaches for letting go. Simple, practical, human truths. Relax the hand, not the heart. You can love without gripping. Love expands when there's space to breathe. Accept the endings as transitions, not failures. Impermanence is not punishment, it is movement. Don't negotiate with reality. If something wants to leave, bow to it. Loosen the identity that clings. You are not your attachments. You are the awareness watching them. When effort becomes suffering, you've crossed the line from devotion into Letting go doesn't erase your past, it releases your future. When your hand finally loosens, something surprising happens. You don't fall, you don't break, you don't disappear. You simply stop being dragged by something that was already ending. And with both hands free, you can finally receive something real. So remember the teaching, let go or be dragged. If a rope is burning your hands, let it fall. If a chapter is closing, don't rewrite it with tears. If life is pulling you somewhere new, walk with it. Not because you're strong, not because you're wise, but because clinging hurts more than releasing. And maybe when you finally let go, you'll discover that freedom was waiting the whole time. Until next time, breathe deeply, walk lightly, and be kind to the becoming version of yourself. Sat Nam.